Hello. Eric Jonathan Sheptalk coming at you. Now, I got a very simple question for you. I promise to keep this video short. Now, do you Washingtonians really want affordable housing? Do you really think that the rent is too damn high? If so, here's what you need to do. You need to text me at 240-305-5255. Again, text me at 240-305-5255. In that text, put your name and the word petition. Again, in that text, put your name and the word petition. And I want to see if I can get at least 40 of you to commit to putting in 6 hours of petition work between now and August 7th so that I can turn in all of the petitions on August 8th. I need to get at least 3,000 signatures from DC voters, and I need to turn them into the Board of Elections and Ethics by close of business on August 8th. And I'm figuring like this. I have over 20,000 friends, fans, and followers between Facebook and Twitter. Many of them are from DC. And if people in Washington, D.C. will itch and bitch about the lack of affordable housing, the rent being too damn high, then just do what it takes to get me on the ballot so that I can raise the issue. Even if you don't vote for me in November, you're not committing to voting for me in November, just getting me on the ballot. And if I can't find at least 40 other people, I have about 6 who are doing stuff for me, but if I can't find at least 40 other people or anything close to it who will go out and put in one day's work to get these signatures and get me on the ballot, then I'm going to have to reassess a lot of things, such as whether or not it's even worth the effort of the nonprofits or of the freelance advocates like myself to fight for these things if people who itch and bitch about these things forever won't just put in one day's work to make it happen. You know, that's like saying you don't have time to go vote and you only have to put in a couple hours every 2 years. You know, so we talk about the lack of political will to make certain things happen. Well, there's a lack of voter will. And so I'm going to throw it back on the voters now to each put in just one day's work to solve one of the biggest problems that we complain about day after day, week after week, month after month. So again, you're not committing to voting for me in November, but let's just get somebody in the race who can raise the issues. I just passed by another person who wanted to become mayor. He ran in the Democratic primary and lost. Now he's trying to run as an independent. He showed me a list that had to have at least 10 names of people who are trying to get 3,000 signatures each to get on the ballot. So there are a few people out here who want to make change. I'm running across the road here. But there are a few people who want to make change and who are willing to put their neck on the chopping block to try and do that. And if just 40 of you would each commit to getting 100 signatures in a day's work, then we can make this happen. So if I can't find that many of you out there who will put in one day's work for free, I mean, I've been doing all this freelance advocacy for 12 years plus. I get paid here and there for something, but most of what I do, I've done for free. So I don't relate to you wanting to make money for this thing. You know, if you put in this one day's work, then you might make some money simply by helping to bring the rent down by getting signatures and getting somebody on the ballot who will raise your issues. And then even if that person loses, they might corner the person who wins, because what would happen is that they'd be able to raise the issues as a candidate who eventually loses, and those issues that they raise would be captured by the voters, who would let the person who wins know, hey, even though this guy didn't win, we still like what he had to say. We still want you to implement what he talked about, you know, and they'd put pressure on the person who does win. At least that would be the best case scenario. But since so many of you out there are not at all politically inclined, since all you do is itch and bitch and nag and fuss and complain and never get off your ass to actually make anything happen, well, who knows? You probably won't put pressure on the person who wins. You're not putting pressure on the incumbent, and the incumbent is a virtual dictator, not entirely of her own doing. She won the Democratic primary in 2014, which is our de facto election when it comes to the mayor, because every mayor has been a Democrat, but she won the Democratic primary in 2014 with 42,000 votes out of a possible 380,000 Democratic voters, most of whom don't vote. Go figure. I mean, they're registered voters, but they don't vote. And so that begins to tell the story of how there's very little involvement by locals in the local politics of DC, and in that low level of public engagement and public involvement really allows the mayor to have run of the house and to do whatever he or she wants to do. It turns out to be a she this time around. But I'm going to reassess my efforts, the efforts of the nonprofits, and the efforts of other freelance advocates like myself, if I can't get at least 40 people out of the more than 20,000 friends, fans, and followers that I have on Facebook and Twitter to come on out and to put in this work, okay? So get off your ass and fucking do something if you want to see change.